Hey y'all, it's Bear.
And Will, I belong to them.
You belong to me.
I belong to you.
Okay. So it's been a while since we've filmed a video together. The last one we did was the New Mutants Demon Bear thing that we don't talk about anymore.
It was fun. I had a really good time.
So today's video is all about Will as my boyfriend and as a reader and stuff like that. So what are we going to do today?
We've never actually talked about books that I like. We've kind of talked about subjects that kind of ran parallel and, I put in my input, but, this is your booktube. I have books. I'm valid.
I have books.
Yeah. I picked out 4 books that mean something to me, and as you may have gathered, or may not, there's a couple of things that really mean a lot to me. Music, comic books, and stuff. I am a mod, so 60s culture and music really appeals to me, the whole gamut. So we're going to start with music. I'm going to go with what inspires me and why it inspires me to read. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the first book that I want to talk about is Simon Reynolds' Rip It Up and Start Again. It's an accumulation of the history of post-punk music from 1978 to 1984, which is actually the golden age of post-punk. By 1978, the Sex Pistols had imploded. Punk was already on its way out, but post-punk showed up, and basically what it was taking all of the angst and fury of punk and applying it to different musical methodologies. So you ended up getting two-tone ska, and two-tone ska groups like Madness, The Beat, or if you were here in America, the English Beat, or if you were in Australia, the British Beat. So we had music like that coming around, and that's basically what this covers. It actually name checks a lot of the bands, explains a lot of their influences, where they came from. You can say, for instance, give me somebody that you like listening to.
Kim Petras.
Okay, I have no idea who Kim Petras is, but guess what I could do?
What?
I could pull out my phone and Google and automatically become an expert on Kim Petras. Okay. This period of time involved a lot of work. You learned about bands through magazines, you learned about them through television programs, and because you did the work, it really meant something to you. So, that being said, if you have any interest whatsoever in post-punk music or alternative 80s culture or anything like that, this is a must-have. Incidentally, the title of this book is the name of a song by a group called Orange Juice from Scotland.
Would be some of your favorite bands that fall into this particular time frame if people wanted to look into that music?
I would definitely say listen to The Specials, The Beat, The Jam, The Style Council, Purple Hearts, Echo and the Bunnymen. They're not mod, but you know what? They speak to my soul so much. So that's who I would suggest that you listen to.
Cool.
Okay? So I've talked about my musical influences with this book, and now I'm going to go on to what I really love. Okay? And
take a break for a drink because you're starting to get froggy throated.
Ribbit. My stereotypical grape soda. Moving forward, this is probably one of the most influential books of my entire life. As a mod, there was always one book that was considered to be like the mod Bible. And it was, or is, Colin McInnes's Absolute Beginners. This is not a first edition. I actually owned a first edition, believe it or not. It was ratty and tatty in a hardcover, but you know what? It was a first edition, and it meant a lot to me.
I remember I tried to get you a first edition for Christmas.
Yes, you did. And you got me this.
Which is not a first edition, but it's
But you know what? It's never really important to me, and I know this is probably like heresy. But it's never been important to me to own a first edition of a book. What's always been important to me is to have been able to read the book and to continue enjoying it. The value of a book has never been the object, but the contents to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
this is our colors too, because your favorite color is blue and my favorite color is yellow.
yes. Absolute beginners. This is set in London in 1958, in the areas of Soho and Notting Hill. And it's really the story of the first true teenage youth culture. It's post-war, and before that, you were either a child or you were a young adult. There was no such thing as a teenager. But post-war, teens actually started getting jobs, and because they started getting jobs, they had money to spend. So in the UK, what did they spend it on? They discovered black music. The best way for them to upset their parents was listening to a lot of American R&B from the 60s, a lot of Motown, a lot of Stax, and aside from that, even more to the point, they started listening to Jamaican music, because this was part of the Windrush generation where the UK basically said to people from Jamaica, come to England, you're already citizens, come here, we'll make your life so much better. And they offered that promise. So the Jamaicans brought over with them their culture, their music, their style of dress, and it was originally called Rude Boy. But Rude Boy was not something that, sounded proper British. Became modernists, or mods for short. Scooters, three-button suits, etc., etc. Interracial dating, which was a very, very hot topic back then, and this book covers all of that. What?
You have a scooter and the 3 buttons, and we're an interracial couple.
AntiWay. This is really just an exploration of that time period. I don't want to give a lot of it away, but the characters themselves do not tend to have names that are names. They are actually given descriptives. The main female character in this is named Crepe Suzette, and she's named Crepe Suzette because she is what was known at the time as a Negrophile. She strictly only dated men of African descent, and apparently one of them had said to her, "You're as delicate as a Crepe Suzette." So that became her name. The protagonist does not have a name. He is never named in this whatsoever. However, there was a film made, and David Bowie starred in it. This book is also highly recommended by Paul Weller, who was in the Jam and the Style Council, 2 bands that really are just amazing. If you ever want to check out like some really, really good, maximum fast-paced punk rock tinged R&B, you definitely want to listen to the Jam. If you want to check out a smoother jazz, acid jazz, funk feel, then you want to go and check out the Style Council.
Is he following you on Twitter?
I'm not discussing which celebrities are following me on Twitter.
No,
because
those are going to be on your podcast that you're going to
Exactly. We're going to go into comic books. The reason that comic books mean so much to me is as a child growing up, my parents were in the military, so we moved a lot of places. I was always the new kid, and I don't have a hometown. I first learned to read by comic books, and superheroes meant everything to me because I wanted to be special. I wanted to be super powered. I know you're looking at me.
You are special.
My grandmother made me a tiger costume, and she made it for me for Halloween. And I decided that I was going to be my neighborhood's superhero. And I named myself Tiger Boy. I used to wear my Tiger Boy costume underneath regular clothes, and I would run around the neighborhood finding places where I could do a quick change so I could fight crime if need be. And basically, in the middle of a quick change, I got busted by one of the security guards who asked me what I was doing. And I told him, I was like, well, I'm Tiger Boy, and I'm the neighborhood superhero, and I'm just finding new places to change just in case I see crime and I can come out and, fight crime. Because he just looked at me and he said, well, come with me and let's take you home. My mother looked outside, saw the security guard, saw me half in and half out of a tiger costume, and was just like, what happened? And he said to my mom, well, ma'am, I don't know if you knew this, but your son is, the neighborhood superhero, Tiger Boy. I'm sitting here going, I am Tiger Boy. He introduced himself to, my mom. He said, what I'd like to do is I would like to take him, because at the time I went by him, I would like to take him on patrol with me, just so that he could see what it is that other crime fighters do and he can learn. That is the story of how I became my neighborhood's superhero, Tiger Boy. So the book that I'm going to introduce to you is The Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon. And this book is amazing. And when I say amazing, I mean if you have any interest in superheroes whatsoever, you will want to read this. Because basically it takes the stories of all of the major players of the creators of comic books from the 30s to roughly the Silver Age. So you have like Stan Lee, you have the creators of Superman, you have Kirby. All of these people are combined to form the two main characters in this book, who are cousins. They are also Jewish, and how they created a comic book empire and how it impacted them because of their sexuality. One of them is queer. The politics of the time, because they were Jewish. Most of the superheroes that were created by Jewish people. This really delves into that. It is a fiction book, but it is historical fiction because it places the stories of these two fictional characters against very real world happenings of the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So again, The Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon. Do yourself a favor, get this and read this. You will absolutely fall in love with it, or you will hate it. But one thing that you will not be is bored by it. Okay? My favorite superhero is Bouncing Boy. Bouncing Boy is a member of the Legion of Superheroes. I love him because he was rejected from joining the Legion of Superheroes 3 times before he proved their worth to them. But even though he's my favorite, I can never be Bouncing Boy. That is a superpower. So, I could, however, be Batman. Without the money.
Yikes.
I wholeheartedly recommend Batman, The Court of Owls. Yes, Batman has been done to death. Out of every single superhero that has ever had movies made, we continually get Batman movies, Batman films, Batman cartoons. Everybody feels they know Batman. However, one thing that the movies and the films and the cartoons rarely get right is the fact that Batman is a street level superhero. He relies on his intellect and his gadgets. Canonically, Batman never appears during the day because it's easier for him to blend into shadows and to become more of an urban myth. If you saw the Snyder Cut of Justice League, there is this great scene that sums it up where the Flash says, I didn't know you were real. I'm real when I need it to be. That's the essence of Batman. He's not going up against a villain, a gimmicky villain. There's no Joker in this. There's no Bane. What Batman goes up against in the Court of Owls is literally an organization that's generations old called the Court of Owls. It's all of Gotham's powerful, rich, and elite. And this is Batman going up against the Illuminati. In this novel, it actually talks about how, when he was growing up, the Court of Owls was a nursery rhyme. There's a final line that says, and here comes the Talon to chop off your head.
Oh, fuck that.
This is effectively Batman going up against a nursery rhyme that he didn't even realize was something far deeper and far more sinister. A boogeyman going after a nursery rhyme, and that's what makes this story incredible. It's my book haul.
Oh my god.
Each one of these books was lovingly gotten for me by my partner, Bear. We've been together almost 3 years, and honestly, they're the best 3 years that I have ever had.
Stop.
No, I'm being serious.
Gonna cry. No.
I don't want you to cry. The 3 years that I have been with you have been amazing, and you're amazing, and you're a precious gift, and you're beautiful. So thank you for letting me on something that means the world to you, which is your channel, for me to talk about me.
Same.
Thanks. Any questions about any of the books?
No? Is there any parting thoughts you would like to share with the class?
No. All books are valid. All reading is valid. If you read comic books, that's great. If you read magazines, that's great. If you read books, that's great. If you read elegant trash, that's fantastic. Just read. Create your own worlds with your own minds and make your own mental movies. That's what I have to say.
That's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, you can give us a
thumbs up.
And
subscribe.
And
ring the bell.
Yes, you did it! Yay! So that you get notifications every time I upload a video. And you can also answer the comment question of the day. What should the comment question of the day be?
I don't know. What should the comment question
No, I'm asking you because this is your video.
Oh, gosh. I guess the comment question that I would ask is, out of the 4 books that I have talked about, which one would you be most likely to pick up and why?
I think I would say this one.
I would say that's a good choice.
Well, because someone on my channel survey said I needed to read this book, and they wanted me to do a whole mod reading vlog. Could you help me with that?
Yes, I could.
Should we do that?
I could help you with that.
And if you have read any of the books today, then let us know what you thought about them down in the comments. Just make sure you keep them spoiler free. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have time, you don't have the spoons, you can leave me an emoji, preferably a
yellow heart,
so that we know you made it all the way until the end of the video. And if you don't have access to emojis, then you can leave a smiley face emoticon. All of my social media links, as well as everything that we mentioned, all of our other videos we've done will be downstairs, so you can go check that out. Do you want to plug anything? Do you want people to follow your social medias, or do you want them to leave you the fuck alone? Which one?
Under normal circumstances, I fall into leave me the fuck alone. However, for those of you who are interested in following me, my Twitter is all music, superheroes, architecture, and art. And yeah,
all right.
Just do that.
All right. Hope you have a wonderful. Are you gonna do my snaps?
No, because I don't know it by heart.
Oh, because you don't watch my videos.
No, because I watch them, but I don't,
You don't do the snaps?
I don't do the snaps.
All right, I'll teach you.
All right.
I hope you have a wonderful, whatever it is, wherever you are. We'll see you next time with another video. Thank you for watching. Okay.
Thank you for watching. I'm out.
Cool. Bye.
Bye. Zoom.
Oh my god, you and the zooms. You didn't even make it all the way out of the frame.